In the summer of 1518, there was a strange outbreak in a city in what is today France. The people were dancing non-stop for weeks, and it ended up killing hundreds. What was this bizarre episode known as the Dancing Plague? And what caused it? Where and when? Our story begins in the city of Strasbourg in July of 1518. At this time, Strasbourg was a part of the Holy Roman Empire. How it started? The plague began when a 23-year-old woman named Frau Troffea was in the street and suddenly began dancing uncontrollably. She danced all day and all night. She was later joined by another woman, then another, and within days, there were dozens dancing in the streets. Strasbourg was a major trading center, and at the time, a huge festival called the Famine was being held there. Many historians believe that this may have been the initial trigger for the dancing plague. Due to the festival, people were already in a celebratory mood, which made them more susceptible to mass hysteria. Also, the city had just emerged from a period of famine, and people may have been suffering from malnutrition. These underlying issues would play a role in the spread of the disease. It spread. As we mentioned, it started with 2 women dancing in the street. Soon, though, dozens were dancing. Some reports say up to 400 people. In fact, it got so bad that authorities closed off entire sections of the city because there wasn't enough room for all the dancing people. No music, no party. To those who might be thinking that this all sounds like a giant street party, we must clarify that this was no laughing matter. People were exhausted and collapsed from dancing for days without sleep. There was also no music. The dancing was described as frenzied and maniacal. It did not resemble any sort of organized dance or party. Fatal consequences. Many of the dancers died from strokes, heart attacks, exhaustion, and other complications. Some bodies were found with shoes still on their feet, still in the dancing pose. Most accounts put the death toll around 150, but some say it could have been much higher, perhaps as high as 4,000. Authorities were baffled. The officials in charge of dealing with the situation had no idea how to stop the dancing. Their solution? More dancing. Yes, really. The mayor of Strasbourg decided that the cure for this dancing plague was more dancing. Musicians were hired to play music, and a stage was even set up so that the dancing could continue in an organized fashion. If you can imagine, they essentially created a massive dance floor in the middle of the city. Tragically, this only made the situation worse. After about a month, though, the dancing plague came to an end. Many dead, the rest broken. But what caused this bizarre episode? That is still debated by historians. Ergot poisoning. One theory is that the dancing plague was the result of ergot poisoning. Ergot is a hallucinogenic mold that grows on rye bread. It can cause convulsions, hallucinations, and other symptoms. It has been associated with outbreaks of what has become known as St. Anthony's fire, a painful and deadly disease that can rot a person's flesh. While ergot poisoning is often associated with the Middle Ages, it actually continued to be a problem in Europe well into the 16th century. In fact, the town of Strasbourg was hit with an outbreak of ergotism just 2 years before the dancing plague. Ergotism is typically spread through grain products such as bread. So if the people of Strasbourg were already suffering from the effects of ergotism, it's possible that this could have triggered the dancing plague. Perhaps the combination of stress and malnutrition made them more susceptible to this mold. The timing makes sense as well. Mass hysteria, psychogenic illness. Another explanation for the dancing plague is mass hysteria or psychogenic illness. Psychogenic illness refers to physical symptoms that are caused by psychological factors. Mass hysteria occurs when large numbers of people share similar symptoms. There have been many cases of mass hysteria throughout history. Typically, it occurs when there is a great deal of stress in a community. In the case of Strasbourg, we already mentioned that the community was coming off of a period of famine. There may have also been other stressors at the time. For example, The town had recently experienced a deadly flood, and there was tension between the citizens and the local clergy. It's also possible that religious fervor played a role in the dancing plague. Some believed that it was a curse from saints, which may have led people to believe that they were cursed to dance. Once the mania began spreading, it likely took on a life of its own. People may have started to unconsciously mimic the behavior of others. This is known as the chameleon effect or the mirror neuron system. Essentially, our brains are wired to mimic the behavior of others. It doesn't require conscious effort. We simply see someone else dancing, and our brain processes the information and tells our body to dance as well. If everyone around you is dancing, it can be difficult to stop yourself from doing the same. It's possible that this is what happened in Strasbourg. People started dancing, and the stress of the situation, combined with the unconscious mimicry of others, caused the frenzy to spiral out of control. Theology. You can probably tell that there isn't a definitive answer as to what caused the dancing plague. Part of the reason for this is that during the time it was happening, people had very different ideas about medicine and the human body. It wasn't uncommon to blame things like curses or evil spirits for mysterious illnesses. Even today, we are still trying to understand the complexity of the human brain and behavior. So it's not surprising that we don't have all the answers. What do you think caused the dancing plague? Let us know your thoughts. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about unexplained historical events, be sure to check out the other videos. And if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments, and a like would be appreciated as well. Thanks for watching.